Ohio State Buckeyes had 7 invited to the roster. Alabama, LSU, and Notre Dame with 5. Here we go. Nathaniel Joseph from Miami and Jaylen Brown from Miami back deep. Short kickoff returned out to the 36-yard line. Mr. Football in Michigan out of Detroit. 2-time state champion. And for months, Anthony, we thought he was going to Oregon. Not quite the last minute, but close to the last minute. After a coaching change, he decided that UCLA would be the best fit. Signed with Chip Kelly and the Bruins on December 21st.
Early in his career and season by season, DTR got better at the position under Chip Kelly's tutelage.
See the pocket fundamentals, and that is a bullet, a strike to the 35-yard line. You know what else Dante did there? You see that subtle? He looked to the left, looked the safety off, and helped a lot. In trouble this time. Hit in the face, knocked down, and yeah, he gets a penalty marker.
Oh, you noticed that the quarterback got hit in the face?
Yeah, you know, sometimes we pick that up. Yanze Pierre, who will play at Alabama.
Ball in his hands. You see him accelerate to top gear really quickly.
And Georgia had 2 5-stars in state. They're both on their way to Alabama. There's Hayes again, right up the middle. Literally lifted off his feet as he got inside the 10. And your number 1 ranked linebacker in the nation, who's on his way to Texas. Moore now on 3rd down from the 20. Fires over the middle. Touchdown East. And he was knocked down in the process. It's Jaylen Brown, the future LSU Tiger. Committed to Louisville in January. Signed in December. Now, there was a little bit of tumult there with the coaching change, but right away he connected with Jeff Brom. Ruben Owens, the tailback. He pitches, and another issue there in the backfield. Ball on the ground, and inside the 10. It looks like the East pounced on it. West wanted to start with that wide receiver reverse. Ball ended up on the ground. Now is Mark Fletcher, who will play at Miami. Moore has 1 touchdown toss. Will he have 2? And the answer is yes. This time it is Brandon Inniss, the future Buckeye.
Williamson, that's the level of recruiting, that's the level of talent and the level of development that Heartland's been able to do since he's been in Columbus.
The long side kick, it's not going to cooperate. Go 10 yards. It stopped at 8. Goes from Oregon to UCLA. And he ends up, instead of staying close to home.
He was, but way back even in high school, where Will Stein was a high school coach, and Novosad went to some of his football camps.
They had some private lessons with him as well. Goes to his left, and that one's knocked down. Loved chatting with Aiden Childs. Let's start with the fact that he's the highest-ranked quarterback to sign with Oregon State since Derek Anderson all the way back in 2001. Tripped wideouts to his left, and he goes up the middle to Justice Haynes. Good spin out of a tackle. Out near the 35. He fumbled the football, and the West gets on it. Second fumble recovery we have seen. Justice Haynes up the middle, upset with himself. See the ball come out right there after a nice spin move. The state of South Dakota, Lincoln Kienholz, who will play in Ohio State, tackled in the backfield right there.
He said from your sister Cameron, who was a soccer player, it was all about getting over adversity. She made it through 2 ACLs, another big play on the field. Your uncle Dre Bly, he said he always loves to have fun. He gets that.
And at the end of the day, I showed that I was pretty much better than anyone out there. So the fact that my little brother learned that from me, and then my sister going through 2 ACLs.
Kienholz again to the end zone, and a little bit too much in the corner there. Hoosier right now, Nicholas Radicic. 25-yard field goal, and curls that one in. Good draw there. Again, former athlete here and the current head coach at Notre Dame. East squad up 14-3. And that's a heck of a move in the pocket, and this will be a touchdown for the East. Ruben Owens, the number 1 tailback in the nation. You'll see more of that at Texas A&M. The catch and the run for a touchdown.
I felt like it was probably what's best for our program to find another older guy that could come in here and really enhance our roster. And Sam is a perfect fit. You know, not only just being a great quarterback. All right, thanks, man.
Marcus Freeman, head coach at Notre Dame, and Marcus, former defensive back. Can appreciate the play by Caleb Downs, who will play at Alabama. This is the number 1. He was voted the player of the year nationally, and he's the number 1 safety in the class.
A really exceptional combination of finesse and physicality of route combinations.
East side already up. This could be a double pass, but it's off the hands of Justice Haynes, and he has to track it down. This will be a big loss for the East side. His life is going thanks to football for the next 4 years. Set up a screen pass over the middle. Big chunk to get here for Trayvon Webb. And he gets a little bit back, the future Florida Gator. And there in Champaign-Urbana. Said he had a lot to do with the fact that this kicker is on the way there. 50-yarder on the way. Oh, it is Dante Moore back in at quarterback, drops back for the second time in a row, over the middle, little bit perfect. I thought it was going to be overthrown. Carnell Tate, good finishing job there. And that's the third touchdown toss for Dante Moore. And again, it is a Bruin to a Buckeye, 6 points east.
In fact, a year ago, we saw one of his teammates, Ernest Green, at St. John Bosco, sign or announce for Georgia. He signed with the Bulldogs. He's now back home in his backyard playing in Los Angeles on Monday night. And we're seeing a continued just focus out west for Georgia with this recruiting. Brock Bowers with Keely Ringo, with Ernest Green a year ago, and now Peyton Woodyard. This moves Georgia to the #2 class nationally in the 2024 class.
Things on the go.
They got jerked.
Right back to the air, drilled in the backfield. Big hit between the hashes. Tamarian Parker, who will play at Clemson here, really wasn't until his senior season that he came on strong. And we'll see him play at Oregon State. Out to his right, back over the middle. Oh, he can't throw it any better. In and out of the hands, though. David Olano, who will play at Illinois, 1 for 1. This is from 36 yards out. It is up, and he is having a heck of a day. 6 points on the board for him. See if the West Side can take advantage now. Novosad in trouble again. Sets up the screen. One-handed interception. We'll see if the East can turn into 6, and they cannot. But they will set up inside of West territory. And the ball picked off there.
I mean, what an interception by Brennan Vernon.
Brennan Vernon on his way to Notre Dame.
You know, Marcus Freeman has to be pretty excited about that. The ball skills on display.
Right back on the field. And right back to the air. Had the ball come out of his hands. And I can tell you as a former quarterback, that happens about once a year. Only threw 6 interceptions in that time as well. Right back to the air, stepping up in the pocket. Can run to the left if he'd like, but he sets up, turns those shoulders, fires downfield into double coverage, knocked away. And now 21 seconds left until halftime. And now we come back east and play at Louisville. Dante Moore, the quarterback, hands off up the middle. Good quick feet there inside of West territory. And Justice Haynes, here he goes. You'll see this in the SEC at Alabama. And they finally bring him down on the 20-yard line.
250, 260, very smooth as a playmaker.
Thinking about smooth around the right side there, inside the 10-yard line.
But you do have a bright future at a different position. He had to absorb that and make it work.
Moore, Haynes, touchdown east, and that is 4 touchdown passes for Dante Moore in the first for a 5-star running back out of Georgia, Justice Haynes today.
Need to experience it myself, but it's good to know, just in case it comes up.
Here in your 12th All-American Bowl, learn something new.
Yeah.
Novosad under tremendous pressure, and that's been a theme today. He's been throwing the ball away more than he's been able to step into him. And that's Keon Keeley on his way to Alabama, Deron Reed, who will play at Auburn.
The additional resources that were being bolstered there in Louisville could have given him an opportunity to continue to build that program.
But nearly blocked in the end zone, but now the West Side will end up inside the East territory on the 42-yard line. Ruben Owens, Lincoln Kienholz, future Buckeye, in trouble once again. He has not had a clean pocket all day. See if he can make something happen to his left. Sets up, fires this one into the end zone. Open man. There's a West touchdown. Well done, Lincoln Kienholz. On the receiving end, the tight end, Kamarian Pimpton, who will play for Brian Kelly at LSU. Used to be signing day was just kind of an exhale and a celebration. And in a lot of cases, the race is really on when you wake up on signing day. And this is Jaylen Brown. He'll play at LSU. He's got an alley down the right side. Big LSU return and also an LSU touchdown for the West. And
those in-state battles, but he's going into Texas. He's going out west. He's going down to the south, deep into the south. He's going up into the east, and then next year, 2024.
LSU perspective, because that's a program that's been able to win national championships, but hasn't been that refined in their passing game. But now Brian Kelly can bring all the success he's had from multiple stops.
There in Kamarian Pimpton. They also have Jaylen Brown in this game. Completion down to the 25-yard line. Brandon Huffman, how would you describe what the Ducks came up with? And hold on one second here. Dante Moore, fastball to the right side. Gets him inside the 20-yard line. And that's Jaden Skeet on his way to Boston College. It's like Oregon is going outside the Northwest as well.
They have, and they've been doing that a lot in the last few years, going down into Texas, going down to the Southeast, going into the Midwest, and really expanding their global brand. They are a global brand. They don't have a lot of elite players.
Takes the snap, runs it to the right side, and an easy lane across the stripe. Number 2 picks up 2 more points.
The Tigers on signing day. And what an interesting story Tyler Scott is. This is a guy who was committed to Arkansas State, where Hugh Freeze once coached, started his senior year as a commit to Arkansas State.
Individual doesn't necessarily view himself as sort of your standard normal football player.
That's complete to Samuel Singleton, the Florida State running back out of the backfield. Let's keep it with
In the thought of what it was like back in the days of yore for the Vikings, all the battles they had to wage as he exits high school, but he does bring that intensity, that ferocity to every rush. His offensive line.
in the game now in the backfield. That is Nathaniel Joseph. Takes the snap to the right side. I think he's going to win that race across the stripe. Yes, he does. Same play they just ran for a two-point conversion. And it works for a touchdown there.
At the top of the Big 12 rankings with the pickup of Jelani McDonald.
With Texas at 3, a completion for a first down. And Brandon, it's really no surprise to see they had the loss in the Alamo Bowl at the end of December, and a big win right there. Home run shot down the middle of the field. Perfectly thrown ball. And a touchdown for the West. Cordell Russell, thinking about the state of Texas, will play at TCU. The Horned Frogs on our mind for what's coming up for them on Monday night.
He commit. Had the opportunity to talk to Caden Proctor the other day about what went on with him. He committing from the University of Iowa, alma mater. But in the end, you got to do what's best for you.
Big hand. We've got an offensive lineman who is split out wide. That is Peyton
He tried his
Kirkland.
best. Tried his best.
He's trying to. Didn't quite work out. Austin Fritzaira, who will play at Holy Cross, a late ad this week, and that would have been fun had that worked out. Hey, it's fun anyway to see an offensive tackle streaking down the left side. And that's going to be it. Final thoughts here, Ant, from the 12th All-American Bowl we've done together.